Welcome back to Offroad Outlaws, guys, and today we are going to be building the brand new Bronco in Offroad Outlaws. Now, first of all, right off the bat, I love how it says Outlaw in big, bold letters right there on the front grille. I love the accents on the hood. I love the top. I love the two-tone. I love everything about this thing except for the stock offset, but that's something that could very easily be fixed later on down the road. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely excited for the new Bronco to come out in real life later on down the road. Unfortunately, I think it was pushed back to about 2022, but even then, like, I'm still very, very excited to actually see what they can do in real life, and honestly, how they hold up in real life compared to the Jeeps. I'm really curious to see how they do off-road. So let's go ahead and pick this one up, and we are going to do probably a Solid Axle Pro full crawler build on this one, most likely. So let's go ahead and get our upgrades out of the way just so we don't have to worry about them. They'll be done. They'll be good to go. Grip will be maxed out. Power will be maxed out. Okay, I thought it froze there for a second, but thankfully it didn't. Now, you could diesel swap it if you want. I'm going to leave it on the gas this time around, and then we will do a e-brake as well, and I think we'll do a... Whoa! Oh, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. All right, I'm going to do a stage 4 blower, and then cut out hood. What? Whoa! Whoa! All right, that's not exactly what I originally had planned, but it looks really freaking cool. It looks really, really, really cool. I've got to give it that. I dig that. Wow. Okay, I don't know if it fits the attitude of this rig itself, but... like, dude, okay, I love that. And I think I will actually convert it back over to turbo, though, because I think in real life, obviously, you know, you could get this with the EcoBoost V6, and I think just to kind of keep it a little bit more in line with what you could get in real life, I think I want to go with the turbo setup. But nevertheless, that blower is really, really cool. So, not tuned suspension. There we go. All right, so you could do solid axle, you could do I-beam, independent, solid axle pro, trophy, and monster. So if you did want to do like a mega truck out of this thing, you absolutely could. Solid axle pro heavy duty is what we're going to go with this time around. And I really like the heavy duty solid axle pro setup because it really is the top-notch crawler setup. And also, this actually, wow, just on a baseline, that literally fixes all of my issues with the offset. That's sick. All right, we'll go ahead and throw a setup on this thing. Run the dyno, just see what it makes fully built. 705 horsepower and 529 foot-pounds of torque max. Not bad. Not the craziest thing in the world, but not bad. And now, wheel and tire package-wise, we will handle that as soon as, well, at least we will handle tuning it once we're done with the suspension setup. So let's go ahead and max that guy all the way out, both the front and the rear. And travel, obviously, is going to be maxed because we're going to need that. We're absolutely going to need that. And let's see, axis width. The width is an interesting one because the width, I want to be able to accommodate some pretty dang big tires. So I'm going to start with a 0.4, and if I need more or less, I'll come back and adjust. And then let's do the actual shocks themselves. I'm going to go with shock 1 because I just like the fact that it has a bigger reservoir. Like, that's literally the only reason why. And shock size, I'm thinking about 2.0 is a little, well, not too big. Let's do 1.8. We'll start with 1.8 in terms of shock size. I think 1.8 will look really good. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and actually do I'm going to drop the stiffness in the rear for sure. I just kind of want to level it out a little bit. Let's do probably about 14.9 in the back. And then what are we in the front? Oh, 15K? Okay. They're like 14.6 in the front and like 14.9 in the back. We should be able to do something with that. And then axle type, not going to worry about that. Not going to worry about the brake type. But I do want to, well... maybe we should go a little bit softer, down to like 12. Like 12.2 or thereabouts. 12, yeah, like 12.4. I'm not mad about that. I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to give us the flex we're looking for. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely going to give us the flex we're looking for. Jeez. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Wow, that's good enough for me, for sure. Now, I'm sure we could refine it as we go on, but man, that's a really, really, really good setup. Okay, so I'm going to go with probably a 1.2. I don't want to go too big on the tires, because if I go too big, then that'll result in, like, a bunch of, you know, weird clipping issues and just stuff you don't want to deal with. So we'll go with a good solid 1.3. And then width, again, in the front, 1.3. Don't want the width to become a concern either, but I think realism-wise, I think that looks really, really good. And I think from now, I just want to go ahead and handle the customization aspects of it, and then we will be good to go. Now, those street tires are obviously not necessarily going to be good for this build, but those have a decent rock rating. These have a slightly better rock rating, so I'm going to go with these, actually. And we'll go... probably these, because they're usually what I end up using in terms of, like, an all-rounder tire, so I have no issue using those. And then, wheels-wise themselves, trying to think of what would be the most accurate to what I would probably see on an actual, you know, off-road build of one of these. And I'm thinking something along the lines of, not necessarily that, but something along the lines of these guys, and then, oh, with a beadlock, they look sick. Yeah, they look kind of basic without it, but once you throw the beadlock on there, they look great. Yeah, they look absolutely great. So, go back to the front. Now, spokes-wise, I'm going to do a probably... not chrome. Let's do, like, a metallic... well, metallic black looks good, but, like, you can't really see all that much of what's going on. I actually don't mind the metallic white, but the thing is, that will very quickly become gray off-road. So, I mean, we'll do it for the sake of doing it for now, but just know that off-road, that is not gonna be that same color for a very long time. So, now we're gonna go to paint. And paint-wise is where it gets really interesting. Now, the real Broncos have some very interesting colors, and there's a green that I like a lot, and I just wish you could get it a little bit brighter, like, kind of like that, but not fully. I don't know, that, whoa, don't want you to adjust. Come on over there, easy, and then I think that about where we are right now should be pretty decent for what we're going for. I don't fully like it, is the problem. So until I can actually do that color the way I want to do it, I'm going to go with a blue. Because I think the Broncos do look really, really good in blue. Like, really good. So I'm going to go with, yeah, that's got a little bit more depth to it. It's still light, but it's got a little bit more depth. I do like the gloss, too. The gloss looks nice. What about the metallic? The metallic, we'll go with glossy on this one. I mean, we haven't really gone with glossy paint on any of the other rigs. So you could do a different secondary color if you so desired, but I think I'm going to probably stick with like a gray for the top. I like the gray on the top. It looks good. So we'll go ahead and apply the mods. And now I'm going to do a very slight gear setup on this thing. Nothing too crazy. Probably just make everything shorter. Similar to what I would do with one of the mud trucks, but not quite as, you know, not quite as uniform per se as what I would do with the mud trucks. So we'll make that like 0.9 or something like that. And then we'll make low gear a tad bit longer. And I find that that actually seems to work pretty well for me. So we'll go to a crawler focused map and just see what this thing is all about. Now, I do like this farms map. This actually is really, really cool. So we'll actually use that to test it because there's some really good rock trails out there. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have been enjoying these Offroad Outlaws builds and what you have done with your new vehicles, what you've done with the new 2nd gen, what you've done with the new Bronco, what you've done with the new AMG 6x6. Whatever you've done with any of these rigs, let me know in the comments down below and let me know what your favorite parts of this update have been. Because again, it's a big update and there's a lot that has happened and a lot that has gone down. So let me know really all of your thoughts on how the update has been for you, even if it's, you know, performance-wise, if it's been performing well, if it's been performing not so well. Just let me know any thoughts and opinions that you have about the update in the comments below. It's quick. It's actually pretty dang decent off the jumps, too. Well, not necessarily jumps, but like little whoops in the trail. All right. Rock trail right off the bat. Let's go. I'll get rid of the gauge. Okay, right off the bat, I can tell you the flex is awesome. Look at that articulation, just walking it through. I definitely think that if you enjoy realistic crawler builds, you're gonna love building one of these. You're gonna absolutely love building one of these. And I love the fact that they used the 4-door version instead of the 2-door version. I know some people are pretty, like, you know, set on the 2-door version, and they're like, nah, the 2-door version is the best. I think they're both good for their own reasons. I mean, if you like to camp or you like to haul more stuff, the 4-door would definitely be a better option for that. So let's see, where do we want to go at this junction? Kind of want to go to the right, actually. I've been to the left quite a few times on stream, so I want to go ahead and make a little trip to the right this time. Dude, this is in high, by the way. I have not had to put it in low range even once, and it has been driving great. I've never once felt like I've, you know, been too, like it's trying to overcome a gear ratio that it can't overcome. You know what I'm saying? If it's trying to overcome a gear ratio that it can't overcome, then yeah, of course we'll put it in a lower gear, but man, ooh, you can get over there as well. Oh, that's pretty sick. It's a really cool little map, too. I really enjoy this map. It's a fun little place. All right, this is where we're going to start to get into a little bit of the twisty stuff. Oh, no! I didn't do any body customization. I just realized that. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, God. Oh, well, we've gotten a little bit of a taste of how it drives. Let's real quick go ahead and go through the body customization. I knew I was forgetting something. So, because the first thing that made me think of it was, ironically, the fact that I hit the rock, and I was like, oh, my God, I need a repair pack. And I was like, oh, I don't have one. And then I was like, oh, my God, I never got one. So, leaving the stock bumper for sure. Yeah, leaving the stock rear as well, I think. Well, the rear's kind of big. I might take the rear one off. Yeah, we'll do a delete on the rear. Roof rack and full cage are possible. And then you can remove those fenders. You can also do slight fender extensions, or you can do cuts. That's another thing that I wanted, is I wanted the fender cuts. So I'm really glad we came back and did that. And light bar up top. Go ahead and throw a snorkel right there. And not really going to worry about the exhaust. I'll probably throw a high lift on the back. And I will throw a winch on the front. That's another thing that we went out into the wilderness without, which we shouldn't have. And then definitely a repair pack in the back. Not a ton that you can do to this thing in terms of visuals, but it is good to know that the options that you do have are there. So let's actually go back now and go to custom maps. And there was one that I was specifically trying to look for, but we can finish off the test at, let's see, Mild to Wild would be really, really fun. But there is one that I know is really, really good. And Redwood Acres is actually a really good one, and it's really highly rated, and I have enjoyed it many, many times. So even though that wasn't necessarily the one that I was initially going for or initially looking for, I'm totally fine with going to that one and hanging out there and using it for a little bit more crawl testing. And I really wanted to do some steep stuff, some steep, challenging, you know, intense trailing. And this one should have some obstacles that'll work for that. The other map, I got to do a little bit of it, but not too much. This one, I mean, you start right in the middle of it. You can go to some really tricky trails right off the bat. So there's one actually right there in the back. Oh, jeez. Whoa! Okay, you start going. You start going right off the bat, that's for sure. We'll get it repaired. Yes, that is exactly the kind of obstacles I was looking for. So let's try it in high. Woo, bad line. I honestly should have just stayed in it. Because I let off, like, that was my downfall. Ooh. Didn't like that line either. Alright, let's try you again. Man! It's not liking that. And I'm sure it's all down to the line I'm taking, but... Oh, alright, let's try low range. Well, even then, maybe not. How about go up in high, and then... Yep. Go up in high, and then shift it into low halfway up. That was the ticket there. Only problem is we are just a bit iffy right here. There it is. Yep. There it is. There it is. Okay, yeah, so this thing absolutely does have amazing crawler potential. And if you guys enjoyed this build and this quick look at this thing, make sure you leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe, and turn those notifications on if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.